Welcome to the Corner Pub, the place my friends and I go in these trying times to have a few beers, shoot the breeze, and be mean to each other. Today I'm joined by Sean from Nerdsense and Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews. How's it going, guys?
Good, how's it going? Be mean to each other?
How mean? Like what? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how mean are people gonna be to me?
Yeah, dude, I just spent like the last 45 minutes fighting with my computer. I don't need that in my life. Setting up your show.
Yeah.
I need a beer. I heard this pub had a great cellar, so I rated it.
What are you guys drinking?
I decided, I was like, because Kyle was saying, we were saying it like probably about a month or so ago, like drink your cellar with like coffee beers. So I have like so many Baptist beers, like, and they all have coffee in them, right? So I grabbed the oldest one, which is a 2017 triple barrel Baptist. So this is the one that's whiskey, rum, cacao. Is it triple barrel if it's barrel aged coffee beans? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so there's coconut and coffee in it. Anyways, what are you guys drinking?
I am drinking right now. Where's this bitch? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good beer. Ooh.
Yeah. Essential Compass. This is my second one. So.
Nice.
Kyle, what do you got?
Serendipity, which is one of the beers. Cherry, apple, and raspberry.
Nice. That's
a
great
little
one.
local whiskey as well.
Nice.
Well, I realized I was wearing a support local shirt. I didn't have any local beer on me, so I'm like, I better do something local or change my shirt.
Actually, you can't even see it. It just says "Stand Strong." You could have been lying and nobody would have noticed.
Oh.
But anyways.
Oh, there you go.
All right, who's gonna start being mean to the first person here? I guess.
I just meant teasing and shooting the shit and kind of being like fucking dicks. Like we were like, for instance, like when you signed back on, you said what, and I said shut up, like that. No, at that point I was sort of telling Kyle like my sort of idea for the intro, and you said what?
Oh, well, because I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was like, and then when you started, like, I was just gonna leave it as is, but yeah, I guess you wrote something. I see.
I did, yes.
Oh, is that completely off the cuff?
Obvious you read from something. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I typed it up while you were messing with your with the whole program. It gave me a few minutes to do it.
I think I may have to have another beer.
Why was wrong with that one?
I don't know. It smells almost like grape juice, like vinegary grape juice.
Oh, I'm not okay with that at all.
It's like apple peel. There's like no green pepper. I'm not trying to do a beer review here. I'm just trying to figure out if this is bad or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not unpleasant, but it's also not what I was expecting. But it's also 3 years old, so.
Well, if you don't like it, dump it.
Yeah.
Life is too short to drink shitty beers, man.
Especially at 11.5%. That's a freaking.
Yeah.
It's got a sour tinge. Yeah, it's like sour.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like sour. Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, unless it's. I've had like a couple nice sour stouts, but if it's not good, it's not good.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the Baptist series are supposed to be sour stouts.
I'm not saying it's supposed to. Just,
yeah. Have you had a Baptist in a while, Kyle?
I don't remember the last time. I had done one. I think actually maybe when I lived in my old house. It was probably a couple of years. Yeah, probably a couple of years.
Because I have a quadruple was behind this. I have the 5th anniversary one, which is whatever that one is, and then I have another bottle. So yeah, I probably start drinking these faster.
Actually, maybe I did have that one at my new house. So maybe it's probably been within 2 years. I'll just leave it at that. Probably within 2 years.
The more I drink it, the better it's getting. I don't know. But anyways, let's carry on.
Oh, good.
I'm sending this back. I want a full refund.
How about movies? I watched a movie. I know Mike watched. I don't know if Sean watched it yet.
Oh, The Old Guard. I haven't had a chance yet. No, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, I watched it this morning. No spoilers. I hate spoilers, but I thought it was good. Like, you know, if you have Netflix, it's just, you know, it's right there, and it was, I think, a hard R graphic novel movie. You know, and it kind of you know, like Deadpool is R, but still somewhat cartoony. But like this one was very like the violence, I guess specifically I'm talking about, was very real,
very visceral.
Yes, that's a great word for it. You know, I mean, it showed the blood, and no part of it looked wacky, obviously, like Deadpool does. So like it was kind of like, not that it's a superhero movie, but it is, you know, based on a graphic novel, and it has, you know, maybe supernatural elements. But yeah, it was. I don't know. If you have Netflix, I would recommend it.
Nice.
I thought the cast was outstanding. I really liked. I thought Charlize Theron was really good.
Yeah.
Chiwetel Ejiofor was really
the guy,
good.
Yeah, from Serenity.
Yeah, he was awesome. He had one part where he kind of explains his position. I'm trying to prevent spoilers here, and it's heartbreaking, you know.
Yeah.
So like the problems, you know, they're a little heightened, but they do have some real down to earth elements. And I thought it was really, really good. I thought the cast, they said, it was outstanding. The guy who played Jafar in that crappy Aladdin movie, he was in it, and he was awesome.
Oh, in the live action one? Okay.
Yeah.
Was this always supposed to be a Netflix original?
I don't know. I know it was discussed by Rucka in a podcast I listened to, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay. It's doing very well. I think over like 70 million homes have watched it. Like, you know, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah.
Now, did either of you know anything about it before, or did you just notice it on Netflix and you saw it and you were like, oh, because I think Mike was the first person to buy it. Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, a few days ago, and then I had seen like the little box on Netflix, but I didn't put two and two together, kind of a thing.
Yep.
And then when it clicked, I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch this. So yeah.
I heard about it via a podcast where Greg Record did an interview, and I was like, wow, this is something I need to watch.
Yeah. Had you watched or had you read the graphic novel or no?
Nope.
Yeah.
Was unfamiliar with it completely.
Yeah, me too.
Rucka says this is a better version of it.
So
really?
When did the graphic novel come out?
Over the last couple of years, I think. They're doing right now. They're doing the second part now.
And the movie's based on the first part. There's no extra stuff to it. Okay.
No, there are certain things like one of the main characters was fleshed out more. Kyle the soldier. Was fleshed out more allegedly. And I mean, I guess he wrote a treatment, like he wrote a script for the director, and the director showed up and was like, "What the fuck is this? You didn't put this in. You didn't put this in. You didn't put this in." Oh, Jesus Christ. Like he's like, all right, I can really fucking do this. And nice. He said everything he wanted was in the movie. He said he did get notes first, but it's all reasonable things. Like this scene, Charlize Theron had a very similar scene in another movie that's right in a different way. Or it's all things he's like, yeah, that's reasonable. He said at no point did he feel like his hands were tied. He said everything went as swimmingly and as good as he could have wanted or expected.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah. So he got to translate his book to the best of his ability and want to screen. It's gotten really good reviews. And I did talk about this in a chat with you guys last week. I said, this is the way it should be. The creators, the people who know the characters should be creating these, they should be writing these movies, you know?
Sometimes you see like special thanks or something, and I wonder how much that artist or writer was involved in the process. But yeah, I mean,
Greg Recker talked about that.
Oh, really?
He said usually he gets a special thanks at the bottom of something, and it's only because they used his source material for something.
Oh, it is.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, you do hear things like they'll bring in scientists for certain shows or movies, or like lawyers, or depending on what the content of it is. Like they definitely aren't opposed to doing that, but I do wonder with comic book stuff, like how much they invite that world really in. But yeah.
Kevin Smith has said that like when he was recommending like Warner Brothers do that, they were like, but those are comic book guys. We need movie guys. Like, but they know the characters.
Yeah. Like even if you need to like punch the script up with like someone who can write a script like better than like a actual comic book writer, like let the comic book writer take the first stab at it. And then if they need to like just restructure it or make it more easier to then let them do it. But let the comic book writer have the first like real like run at it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like you know, some of this is going to be retread for you guys because we have chatted about this, but like I feel like in any other medium, I don't know if you'd have these kind of problems. You know, I like, why haven't they offered these scripts to comic book writers in general? You know, at this point, if you think about, you know, what we talked about is, you know, Paul Dini has reinvented characters completely in ways that we only know them realistically from his point of view. Like Mr. Freeze was a mad scientist until 1992, 93, whenever the hell Heart of Ice was written. He was just a mad scientist character, did not have any pathos. And he wrote a character that became a lot of people's favorite Batman villain. And, you know, why wouldn't he get a crack at it? You know, everyone loves those Arkham games. He wrote them. He wrote the scripts for those games.
Yeah.
He created Harley Quinn. He wrote Mad Love. Like, why wouldn't he be given a Batman script to write, you know?
The video game thing is interesting too, because you have to deal with pacing and things like that, you know, in a somewhat cinematic way as well. So it does seem like that would kind of, like, you see sometimes directors who, you know, they only had done music videos or whatever. And it's like, okay, I mean, if that can translate, I would think writing a video game storyline could translate, you know, at least, getting a crack at it.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
So I was really happy to see Greg Rucka. And it wasn't something I knew about. So I don't have like any, like, I knew about this at all. But when he talked about it, I was getting like more and more kind of annoyed, because these are things we have talked about. And I was like, yeah, this is exactly the stuff I had, you know, and I'm not the only one either, but, you know, it's exactly the stuff that I've sort of been bitching about amongst us. And then after watching it, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, is what it is, I guess.
But like, I guess it's a little bit different too. Like he created this new comic book world, right? Like now it's like, and I guess Paul Dini makes sense because he's been in with the character a while now, but not the same people have been. Well, I guess Scott Snyder's been writing Batman for a while now, but like all the big characters now have like kind of like a rotating list, like folks of writers. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Oh yeah. But like, why wouldn't you go to someone like that knows the character intimately?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It seems like that would be the reasonable way to go.
Well, to be fair, I guess like David Goyer is like a giant nerd and he knows the character. He knows Batman very, very well. But
yeah, I don't have necessarily an issue with David Goyer. My issue isn't that David Goyer wrote a movie. My issue is, why wasn't these types of movies offered up to other people? I mean, not all of them can be written by David Goyer, you know.
Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe they were, and there's, you know, NDAs and gag orders in place that they're not allowed to say that they were approached and kicked out of the room.
Yeah, but we get plenty of people that do talk about those things. It seems like Paul Dini doesn't have much to hide.
Yeah.
You know, he's pretty open about everything. I mean, even some really horrific shit he's gone through, you know.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a good point.
So we have a new theme song, Sean.
We do, and everyone's going to hear it. Well, obviously in the beginning of this video, because there's no way I'm going to edit it into this right now. And then at the end of the video, I have to figure out how I want to kind of splice it together for intros and outros. But it's going to be very, it's very exciting. Like it sounds probably minor to other people, but like, I don't know, it's just super fun.
I think when I heard it, my response was just one word: lovely.
Yes,
that's true.
Yeah,
it was
it's just yeah.
You know, I was pretty excited about that. And then we got the intro from Mike that he wrote, and you know, you can really tell he must have had really good public speaking classes at Lowell High School.
First mean comment, yes. Are you going to recite that every episode?
Something similar, yeah.
Do you want me to just record it and then we can like add like a voiceover? Just...
We'll see. We can talk about those things as we go.
I was kidding.
be cool to mess around with at least. But yeah, worst case, it doesn't work that way, and you just say it every time. But that, yeah, it might work cool. Voiceover for the music portion at the beginning.
Yeah. Make it like super dramatic, like my name is Oliver Queen. I've been trapped on this island for the last. I don't know.
I've been trapped in my house for 4 months and trying to have some semblance of normalcy by doing this corner pub.
The more I drink this beer, the more I like it. But I just had an epiphany of why I like it. And this is going to sound really fucking bad for this beer. Or it's good because it tastes now. It reminds me of a barrel-aged dark Wicked Weed sour with chocolate and cherries.
Wow. I could see how those flavors would come through based on what you've said already. I see Mike is disgusted and leaving. So,
which is like, but it's also like, is it healthy for me to keep drinking this?
I mean, beer doesn't like go bad, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like honey, right? You can just have it whenever. It doesn't matter.
Like I literally bet I could give this to Carrie upstairs and she would think this was a sour.
Really?
It's so weird though. Like what would cause that? Whiskey and rum, barrel, cacao nibs, then barrel-aged coffee, which doesn't come through whatsoever, and barrel-aged coconut. I don't get that.
I mean, the coffee, you said if it doesn't smell like peppers or whatever, but I mean, I guess the coffee could do something you don't anticipate. I'm just going to assume, I hate to throw out the word, but like infection. It might have just had, makes me think of that 2015 Bourbon County, just.
Yeah, actually that's
there. And that cherry note, I think, is definitely a sign of, it can be a sign of infection. So.
Because whenever I have like dark like Wicked Weed sours that have been barrel aged with like weird adjuncts, like this is usually what you're gonna get from it. So it's interesting. We'll see how much I want to keep drinking it. Maybe after this glass I'll see where I am.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And for people watching, Mike and I can't see Sean, so I have no idea how much of this glass he's had, or if he even has a glass in front of him. He might not even be drinking anything.
I think once you guys go back and watch this, you're gonna see my first sip reaction. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I was hoping that when we went back and watched it, you'd be drinking like a Capri Sun the whole time.
I'm drinking Capri Sun with just my middle finger up. There was a video online I saw. I don't know. One of you sent it to the chat, or was another chat? It was like someone's grandma took a Capri Sun, and yeah, Mike, you sent this or someone did? And
I think Reed did.
Yeah, and she filled it. She put like a long straw or whatever. And either way, she managed to put booze into it, and then took a lighter and resealed the top.
Wow, that's dedication.
Yeah, and then she said, I forget what she said at the end of the video. Something like, so I can drink wherever. Or
yeah, so I can get drunk wherever I want.
Yeah,
awesome.
I was like, that's pretty genius.
That's dedication.
Well, this lady's clearly 90 years old and being told what to do by someone off camera.
Yeah,
but it's awesome.
Don't you love me, Nana? Just do this video for me.
That's funny.
Freaking internet videos, man. I've been subscribing. So You Betcha I've always subscribed to, and then I started subscribing to Charlie Barron's and Trevor Wallace, which I've never I realized I never subscribed to. I've always just kind of just caught them on Facebook, and now I'm like just watching them like nonstop, like all their old stuff and everything like that. It's just absolutely. For some reason to me it's like it's fascinating, and then when they do the crossovers and they do like the making of that type of stuff, just completely like it's so fascinating to me just watching them like how they create their content compared to how we create our content. I think it's just more of like that content creator curiosity where I'm like, wow, they have so much cooler stuff than we do.
I like Charlie's videos where he's making drinks.
Yes.
He's done a couple of them. They're awesome.
But yeah, you can tell a decent amount of it's scripted, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
But they are kind of trying some stuff in the moment. Like the behind the scenes are the best to learn the stuff, or like the bloopers at the end. Sometimes they'll throw on. But yeah, I mean, definitely more polished, definitely more premeditated. I had someone who actually this week reach out to me like, do you rehearse your videos or do you like? I'm like, no, like, and he didn't think I did. He's like, yeah, I guess I haven't watched it. There's someone else. They do a lot of. It's fitting that I'm talking my hands right now. He's like, oh yeah, this person. It's just like you, man. They got all these hand gestures when they're talking, and I'm like, oh okay. I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this person before. I think it's a bourbon reviewer, but anyway, he's like, do you like rehearse things? Do you kind of script some stuff? You know, do you look up tasting notes? I'm like, no, man. Like you see, like I open it up on camera and just go, but. You know, I don't know if that was a compliment or not. like I mean, it was like a gentle nudge, like, you know, maybe have something scripted a little bit.
I with beer reviews, anything that sounded scripted, I immediately think of as inauthentic, and I don't listen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always why I hate whenever something happens technically where we have to go back and re-record something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every time we fess up to it though.
Oh, of course, yeah. We're not gonna lie about it. But speaking of scripted, Mike and I just I still have to record some more stuff for it. We did just record episode 2 of the Juice Boy Chronicles of a scripted little skit that we've been thinking of for a while. Even
I didn't know that. That's exciting.
Well, we've been talking about it for a while, and then yesterday I was like, let's just bang it out. It was just easy to just kind of what we'll be doing. It's going to be fun. I'll keep it a surprise because I think once you see it, Kyle, you'll
it'd be great.
Enjoy it.
How it got made and everything. I took I saw how the sausage was made. You know, like so it's just to be a fan. Mike and I were talking about sausage and hot dogs and stuff before we started.
Sausage. Speaking of sausage, did you see the Charlie Barron's him cooking and making the brats?
He was it ice or water he threw?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's so funny.
And it's shocking. I expected them to. Sorry, hold on one more, and I'll finish. I thought they would have more subscribers. Like Trevor Wallace has 1 point something million, and then You Betcha has almost 300,000, which for that type of channel and the amount I see their stuff, I would expect it to be more. It seems very low compared to when I look at some of the cooking channels I watch, like Sam the Cooking Guy or the Sous Vide Everything channel. They have millions of subscribers. I would suspect a channel like that would have more subscribers unless Facebook is their main thing. I don't know.
Well, a lot of the videos are quite short. I mean, not really, but a lot of them are quite short. It's more suited for Facebook type audience,
Yeah.
Sam the Cooking Guy does have long.
His are long
really
format.
20 minutes to 30-minute videos. That I think is more suited for YouTube. That stuff wouldn't fly on Facebook. Facebook's for people on the toilet.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wonder, You Betcha, he definitely has a lot of products that he sells and stuff. So I wonder, because and we know this too, with the beer tube stuff, subscribers doesn't necessarily equate to views.
Yeah.
So they do get a lot of views, even if some of them don't have as many subscribers. And then they're doing, so you got the ads, and then they got, they're selling stuff. So I'd be curious how much stuff he sells.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I think they all have a good amount of merch, or he sounds like the UH guys seem like they have a lot of merch.
Yeah. I mean, I've caught it with and it's fine. You make money. I mean, that's what you're doing. You're a comedian. You're making your living that way. It's great. This is not a knock, but yeah, I'm curious. But yeah, are you guys familiar with Quibi?
Yeah, the short video thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about it for the first time 3 days ago, and I don't know what it is.
It was about 3 days ago where I first heard it. A guy he was a couple years ahead of me, but I went to school with his sister. He's a director. He used to work for Funny or Die.
Yeah. Funny or Die. Great. Yeah.
And he directed an episode of The Office, a couple episodes of New Girl, blah 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 blah. So I was watching. I had never finished New Girl, so I was finishing that up, and I saw his name, which reminded me, oh, Mike, don't make that face. For people watching, I can't see Mike.
I was gonna be oh yeah, don't forget they can't see each other, but Kyle's just assuming Mike's making a face.
No, I can see Mike. I'm looking right at him.
It would have been funny if you're
shirt, but
Red Sox.
Anyway. But anyway, yeah, so he's directing a show called Die Hard with Kevin Hart. So I'm like, what is this show? And then I'm like, wait, he's directing all of the episodes. So I'm like, what? And then I'm like, what's this airing on? And it's like, oh, it's airing on Quibi. So I'm like, well, what's Quibi? So yeah, this was like 3 or 4 days ago, just like Mike. And I'm like, oh, it's only 10-minute episodes. But to get back to the original point, what made me think of it is I guess it's not doing very well. I guess it just as a thing, people aren't subscribing to it. And they're thinking like we have this awesome, it's for short attention spans, or like you're waiting in line somewhere or whatever. And it's not going to be more than 10 minutes per episode or per thing. I don't know if people don't want to watch it. They'd rather have it ad supported like YouTube. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like because it costs. So it's like, why would anyone really want to? But they were hyping it up for so long, and it sounded interesting because they were getting like relatively big name actors, and then there was the what was the Stephen Amell and Robbie Amell movie, Mike? They did on Netflix.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called. I didn't actually watch it. It
was really good. But they're going to continue it on. Well, they were going to continue it on Quibi. I don't know if that's actually still going to happen now, but yeah, it has an interesting concept. Like, I think I made a joke to Mike when he met you something the other day, and I was like, yeah, it's only a matter of time before somebody edits them all together and they just show up on Netflix, because like if it dies, right? Like, the idea of it is cool, but again, like ad supported, like you said, Kyle, makes more sense. Like, I'd be more prone to like go for that if I could watch it easier without having to. Why would I pay for something I don't know what I'm paying for? You know what I mean?
Or kind of like a Hulu model where there's, well, I guess I don't know if they do it anymore, but like ad version, or you pay to not have the ads. I think now you have ads no matter what.
There is like a max Hulu tier where there's no ads.
Oh, okay. But like even like something like that, you have the option. Like, yeah, I'll sit through this, whatever, 2 ads, 2 30-second ads, whatever it is for the 10-minute, video. But it seems like such a good idea. But I'm wondering what the hang up is, because like you said, I mean, it's got the talent. It's got even like the Kardashians are doing something stupid on it. I mean, like you got like legit, people. You have comedians, and then you have idiots like the Kardashians that people like.
Yep.
So you kind of like are hitting what people like to watch entertainment wise. But yeah. It's something like Mike said, I had never heard of it. I think it's been out maybe early 2020.
It came out. It's been out for a while, yeah.
I think so. Like,
I'm looking up to see what like their big things are.
To be fair, if I haven't heard of something, it doesn't mean it's anything. I don't know anything.
I had never heard of it either. I don't think I did. Anyway.
Well, you figure that because of your profession, which I know that you haven't been able to do it too much this year. But like, because of your profession, it seems like something like that you would have heard about at some point, because a lot of technology coming out, it's geared toward the younger people. Like,
for sure.
Like every once in a while there'll be something wacky that comes out. I'm like, Kyle, what's up with this? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
it's absolutely insane. These shows, I don't know what they're about, but the actors are like Lawrence Fishburne, Idris Elba, the dude from Kimmy Schmidt, Chrissy Teigen.
Well, this is the thing, Sean, is these are people that are reasonably big actors, but like, we are not in the age where actors can sell product anymore. Like, no one goes to see like the Idris Elba movie.
Oh yeah, Reno 911 I think is the biggest one. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Like in the 80s, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was in a movie, people went to see the movie.
Yeah, you're seeing way less of that now.
Yeah, people are going to the franchises, not to the stars.
Yeah, actually that's a very good. Yeah, it's valid actually. Yeah.
Like at one point it was like the new Tom Cruise movie. It's like, who gives a shit now?
Yeah, just give me another Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but I mean that in general. Like, I mean, no one's gonna go see a movie just because. I mean, I don't know who like a Zac Efron movie isn't guaranteed to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who young stars are now. I'm sure I can think of them if I put my mind to it. But like, they won't sell just on the name alone. Those days are. I mean, not that they're gone. They're just not around now. Maybe those days will come back. Who knows?
I wonder how much of that is us and our niches versus the larger scale. I don't want to say mainstream, because a lot of our niches have become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
I think not just like super nerdy stuff. But like, I do think the average person, is less likely to go to a movie because so and so starring in it. I wonder, like, for me, if Seth Rogen comedies, like, especially when he works with Judd Apatow, like, I would see everything those guys put out together.
Same.
But like I like Will Ferrell, for example, but I don't see every movie because some of those movies look bad. Like it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, for me, almost like sometimes like directors.
I go more for directors.
Yeah.
Than actual actors nowadays.
I never thought about this.
Speaking of Judd Apatow, sorry, go ahead.
I only go if I give a shit about the movie itself. I don't like it. It has to be like it's like a recipe. You know what I mean? All the things have to sort of make sense to me.
Yeah, if it's a good writer-director combo, if the plot's something that sounds like it's going to be interesting to me, yeah, of course. But like sometimes I'll just go in blind if it's like for me, I like it's just certain directors like Judd Apatow's one of them, like Martin Scorsese, things like that. I know that I want to kind of dive into that.
Well, then you get like Old Guard, not to bring that up again, but I didn't know there was nothing, like I have no. There's only, and Mike said them, there's only 2 actors I even know who they are who were in that movie. I didn't know who the director was. I guess it's the same one who did like Love and Basketball, and she's done other movies. Like I found that out afterwards.
It was her first action movie.
Really? Nice.
From my understanding, what I heard about was like the lady who did Love and Basketball. What the hell?
And I mean, and again, not to talk about the movie, but like that's surprising to hear. It's her first action movie.
I didn't look through it, but that's what I heard from someone.
The action's intense. But anyway, maybe that's part of the reason why is just people and like make bad movies, and people you never heard of make good movies. So now it's, I don't know, but I think the franchise thing that you said, Mike, is really smart and true.
Yeah, I think people are more likely to go see a movie that has the word Disney in front of it than a movie that has Will Smith in front of it. You know what I mean? And it used to not be that way. Like Wild Wild West was sold on Will Smith in a fucking song, and that's why people went to see that stupid fucking movie. I never did see, so I assume it's stupid. I never saw it, but
that was a pretty catchy song, though. You got to admit that.
It was a very catchy song.
Yeah.
Okay.
What they used to call him, Mr. 4th of July or Mr. Because like he for so many years or every so many years he had like a huge blockbuster come out. I think around like Independence Day, obviously, but I think he like got because they make stupid money. But you're right, like Will Smith, who's a very big famous star, it's not a guarantee I want to see his movie. Where there was a string like Adam Sandler's making a new movie, definitely got to see that. Will Smith's making a new movie, got to see that. And I don't feel that way about actors at all anymore. Yeah.
I think things changed in a big way with how movies are marketed. I think it's in some ways it's I mean, if you watch professional wrestling, or if you watch the star isn't the wrestlers, the star is WWE or WWF, whatever it is. And if you even like with my favorite sport is mixed martial arts, UFC has made a conscious effort over the last 10-15 years to not worry about having stars. The star is UFC. So if someone leaves, it's just like, who gives a shit? The star is UFC. Right now in movies, the star is Disney. And even that is guaranteed to sell. Honestly, the only safe bet in movies is Marvel, which is a Disney product, but that's the only safe bet. Even if they're really fucking bad, they make money. Disney movies, even if they're really good, aren't guaranteed to make money. They've had a few bombs in the last few years under the Disney banner. With The Good Dinosaur or something.
Oh, yeah, that was a Pixar movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Disney though, right?
Oh yeah, it was Pixar. Yeah, so Disney. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying. The only guaranteed hits Disney's having besides the Marvel stuff really is their remakes, which is why they keep making them.
Yeah.
They're just even when they're really bad. They're just gonna go through the entire catalog.
Yeah, even when they're really bad, which they always are, they make a lot of money.
Of course, why wouldn't they do it? It's a guaranteed moneymaker. It's easy. I mean, you adapt a pre-existing movie and then repackage it. Here you go.
Yep, and the parents who are fans take their kids to make them fans. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, Star Wars, and Solo was bad, but it made money, didn't it? I don't think. Did Solo lose money?
It did. It made more money than its actual budget, but not as far as its
marketing.
Actually, yeah, it didn't make too much. It was budgeted at 275 to 300 mil. It only made 393 mil, and for a
so
big box office, that's nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it used to be that you had to make double your budget to make money. Now they're saying it's about triple because of how much the cost of advertising is.
That's insane.
So if you're doing something that's like 275 million, but you better be making 850 or so.
Yeah, they say they double the budget essentially for the advertising, but I think it's gone up more. You know what I'm thinking of? It was someone asked Ron Howard something to the effect of like that being a bomb and what he thought about it, and he's like, "It's the highest grossing movie I've ever made." That's what I was.
Oh, really? Is that what he said? That's awesome.
Of course it is. He made a Star Wars movie. Like what other? Yeah. I mean, he's made amazing movies. And he's made some movies that made money, like like big money, but not Star Wars money.
Apollo 13, even with inflation? No.
Oh no, he's not including inflation.
Apollo 13 made 355.2 million, so it was very close.
That's actually the one I was thinking of when I was saying that is like movies that made money, but like.
What the Da Vinci?
That's not $1 billion. That's not like.
Da Vinci Code made 760 million.
Which one?
The Da Vinci Code.
I forgot about that. I forgot he even did that movie.
So what's he even talking about?
I like that movie too.
Remember how big that book was? Not like physically big, but just like when was the last time? I mean, I guess like Harry Potter and Hunger Games and stuff. Like that book was like a rock star of a book.
I read it.
Yeah, I read it too.
Like people I know who like don't read that book. Like that was a big.
Yeah, that was big. And Angels and Demons made 485 million. So what interview did he say this in, Kyle? Where he clearly lied to the interviewer?
I could have sworn he said I'll look it up.
It's just so maybe he meant, I don't know, maybe it's then again, looking at Wikipedia, like come on, let's be real.
Yeah, it's fair.
Maybe he meant like full like box office plus everything else. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what kind of metric he was using? Or maybe he was just pulling something out of his ass,
Okay, he tweeted, didn't meet projections, but amounts to a new personal best.
Maybe opening weekend or something.
Oh, maybe.
And he's responding to someone, I heard the movie isn't soaring too high in the box office. Should I watch it today to help out? So that's the original tweet. And then he responded, didn't meet projections, but amounts to a new personal best. So maybe it was just opening box office. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think like first of all, I know that the reviews weren't that bad, because whatever the fucking money they're paying people to review movies. That movie was not good. It was quite bad. The word of mouth was really bad for that movie, and the production was notoriously troubled. Yes. So people didn't have a whole lot of trust going in.
And this isn't with inflation. It was specifically opening weekend, 84.8 million for Solo, 77 for Da Vinci. So yeah. Anyway, thanks, fact checker.
Hooray, the internet.
I think that movie wasn't horrible. It was just a horrible Han Solo movie. If that movie was called, Todd Duffy, Space Pirate, or something, like it wouldn't have been that bad,
It took a while.
Take the Wookiee out, and it was mostly workable.
I don't know. I had a hard time getting into. I tried that movie like multiple times.
Yeah, but you went in there to watch a Han Solo movie. You know what I mean?
But that's what it was.
Yeah,
I know. I went and I fucking thought it was dumb. That movie was not great. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
But looking at it objectively, I think if it wasn't the Han Solo movie, which I honestly think sometimes when I watch certain things, like, and I ended up, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere I was pretty much right about Joker. There was a script that someone turned into a Joker movie. I imagine that's sort of what it was. They like, oh, we can use this Todd Duffy space pirate movie that you want to write, and we can change a few things around and make this into a Han Solo movie. I just don't think, like, it did not feel like Han Solo. It didn't seem like Han Solo. It didn't feel like Star Wars. You know, it was a weird movie with a weird script, and only linked together by the Wookiee, some guy calling himself Han Solo, and the very, very end when you had Darth Maul have an appearance. Otherwise, I mean, it could have been anything, honestly.
I liked Lando. I mean, I thought that was good casting at least, but yeah, whatever. It was garbage.
Yeah.
It's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing is, I mean, I'm not going to watch it again, so I won't be able to prove my point here. I'm not so much convinced it's a bad movie, other than it's a bad Han Solo movie. I think there's a good movie in there somewhere.
I could never say I'll never watch it again, because I say that a lot about things, and I've watched some pretty bad movies. So like, I feel like I could definitely watch this again. I could definitely watch it again and say maybe 5-10 years I could revisit it.
Is it on the Disney movie app?
Yeah.
Oh,
just got added.
I think at this point all the Star Wars movies are.
Like we rewatch Batman Forever, for crying out loud. Like,
we watched the weird director's cut.
It wasn't even a director's cut. It was they just added 10 minutes of deleted scenes on top of all the other stuff that's already crappy in it.
It was so bad.
Like, yeah, so like I'm not saying I'll never watch Solo again. There's I'll say there's a definite. You know what? I'll definitely watch it again. I guarantee it. I will. Like, before I die, I will.
He's on his deathbed. It can't be wrong.
You come into the hospital. Did you watch Solo yet? Like, put it on now.
Well, I will say this. I started doing a rewatch, like a marathon, because I want to watch them all, then rewatch the last one. And I skipped Solo. So I guess that's my answer to, do I want to rewatch it, or do I plan on rewatching? Is even doing a marathon of Star Wars movies.
You don't need, you can forget that existed. But for me, it's just like, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to rewatch it again. Like, there's no way you want to rewatch it within like the first like 7 years. Maybe in 7 years you'll be like, my mentality's a little bit different now. I'll give it a shot.
If I was going to watch all the good Star Wars movies, I'd be done within 4 movies.
Or if you get into psychedelics and you're like, let's just throw on a movie. It's Solo. You never know.
Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. When we did mushrooms,
we watched Harry Potter.
We watched Harry Potter for a few minutes, then we turned on Star Wars.
You're right, we did. I remember Harry Potter was freaking me out.
A boy wizard. Show me some space Jedi wizard.
I was sitting on his couch and I had my eyes shut because it was like looking at kaleidoscopes. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I remember, like, I don't like Harry Potter, so I didn't give a shit. I wasn't paying attention to that at all. And but I know at some point, I don't remember the reason why, but I remember we ended up watching, I think it was Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, I don't know if this is the right movie to be watching right now.
I remember you were just reading magazines at one point. Yeah, you were reading like comics, picking up stuff off the floor, like reading it.
yeah, I was reading Maxim magazines because you guys had them all over the
Yes. Yeah.
But they were so hard to read.
Well, yeah, you were tripping.
Well, that's the thing is, I remember thinking, I was like, man, why are these taking so long to hit me? Like, it was such a weird feeling because I never really did drugs. This is the only time I really ever. Like,
you're right. No,
I never smoked weed. I never did it. This is really my one, use of psychedelic drugs in any way, and it took such a long time. I mean, we were all talking about how long it was taking it to hit us. And then I went to use their bathroom, and they had a pile of Maxims about 3.5 feet high next to the toilet. Remember this, Sean?
This was a college apartment, mind you, not. Mike, this was last week.
Yeah, this was last week. But I was just sitting there like reading, and I was like, "Oh, this is really hard to read." I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." And I walk out of the bathroom, and I'm looking like they had this this light that was sort of like had all these little gears on it, so they can be aimed in different directions. Like, wow, that looks weird. Everything just I couldn't describe how it looked different, but everything was just like leaning the different way. It was a really weird feeling. And I sat and I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely tripping." And I look at Sean, and his eyes like rolling in the sockets. I was like, "Oh, fair enough, we're fucked."
We're fucked, and we're here for the next 6 hours.
Oh yeah, it was bad. And I think at the end of the day, like after the tripping was, I mean, I tripped like 12 hours. We were tripping for a long time. And but once I was getting ready to leave, which is like nighttime late, I talked to my girlfriend at the time, and she was like, "What the fuck?" She was screaming at me. It's good times. But anyway, we watched Star Wars while tripping. That's a long story short.
Yeah.
The too long didn't read.
And we got there from, I don't even know, that's just like
Han Solo.
The webs of this are just, yeah. I finally finished the end of the Mandalorian documentary. I was so disappointed. I didn't realize it was the last episode, and it ended, and it didn't have the in like 30 seconds. And I was like, no.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it's so great. It's so great. Mike, you definitely need to get on it. It's really good.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure. So Kyle, you said you're watching the Clone Wars?
I did. Yeah, I did. I started watching it. I bought an exercise bike, so when I'm on that, I watch a couple episodes, kind of like the routine of it. So
that's a good idea.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's the only way I watch it, so it's like it's such a thing. Like it's just like I don't know. It's weird. But I don't watch anything else when I'm on the bike, and I never watch Clone Wars unless I'm on the bike. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's interesting because so many people have recommended it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was at first I was like, because a lot of it, like I had a bunch of students that finally I was like, fine, I'll watch it. But for them, that was their Star Wars. I mean, now there's a new trilogy, but I think like their Star Wars was episode 1 through 6.
Good point.
So for me, it was like this. Episode 1 I think is garbage. 2 gets better. 3 I think is actually pretty good. So it's like, okay, it's like this. It's that stuff. Jar Jar's in some episodes. I cannot like. I know it's like all these years later. It's like I'm still complaining about.
What
Jar
season
Jar.
are you on? Are you still on season 1?
Should be season 2 something. I think maybe 3. I don't know. I'd have to look. But anyway, we also I just got back from vacation, as you know, so I haven't been on my bike in a while. So, short version. I'm liking a lot more. I'm getting into it, getting used to it for sure. Yeah. I've had people around our age say it's like their favorite version of Star Wars. I certainly wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I've definitely heard a lot of high praise, and I get why people like it. But for me, it's good. It's good. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's good. It's good Star Wars content, unlike Solo, which was hot garbage, no good. There's no good movie in there. If you don't look at it, it's like a Star Wars movie. It's just bad. It's just a bad, horrible movie.
Yeah.
My take, it's better than any of the new numbered ones. Any of those 3.
I would take anything the Skywalker series.
Yeah, I would too.
Over.
Yeah.
Not me.
Solo. It's nothing to do with Han Solo. It's just you watch it once and you're done.
Didn't. I got that. It took me a minute to get it, but I got it.
What's up, Bruno? I'm sorry, Bruno. I didn't mean to.
Hey, Bruno.
A dad joke that failed miserably.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you when you say the Clone Wars is good. It's not bad. It's not better than anything else, like movie wise. It's definitely it's a fun show, but it's and I think it kind of probably is the same reason why Kyle only watches it on the bike, and the same reason I only watch it in certain situations as well. I just don't find myself wanting to watch it. You know what I mean? Like I do watch it, but I don't, and I usually watch it either if I'm doing something where Kaylee's in the room and I want to put something on that's nerdy and I don't want it to, and I kind of maybe want her to get into it. Like if I put on a Star Wars movie live action, it won't be as it won't pull her in as much. So I'll put that on and then she'll be like, you put on Star Wars, I don't want to watch this. And then 2 seconds later, she's like, just like staring at it. So like, just like you with the bike, I have my own reason to put it on. But like if I'm down here, but by myself watching stuff, I'm never going to put on like Clone Wars or something like that. But, it is really good, and like people do say like it's supposed to be really great. So like it's a slow burn for me. I'm slowly watching it. I started watching Rebels too. I think I mentioned that, and that really pulled me into. And then there's the Resistance. There's so much content out there that's being made by I think it's David, but the guy that's producing Filoni. Yeah, I think he's like sort of the overseer of all the cartoons right now too, or was. And now
he's like Kevin Feige of Star Wars. It seems like just watching that Mandalorian documentary, he just seems like the guy.
Yeah, and he's doing and they just announced a Clone Wars sequel series. Bad Blood? No, Bad Boys.
Oh, I saw that.
Bad something. Yeah. So, yeah, I really like what they're doing with all this stuff. Like, part of me, I like animated stuff. Don't get me wrong. Like there's certain things that I could definitely, but sometimes like I just need live action. It's probably gonna sound bad, but sometimes I just need live action.
Well, that's how I mean, Star Wars has always been live action to me, and until I start watching this.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case for me though, because I thought that way for a long time.
And you said that to me multiple times that like you have a hard time getting into.
Yep, and I do have a hard time with it, but there have been some outliers that make me think sometimes it is just the quality, and we hold live action and animated to different standards.
Yeah, and I've been there too. Like there's definitely animated things that like pop more for me than other animated things.
like for sure, like, Under the Red Hood, that movie fucks with my head sometimes. Like that final scene where it's a flashback to Jason Todd as a young kid, and he's talking about it's the best day ever, Batman, and it's so fucked up after the previous hour and a half to get to that point. It's really kind of emotional,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in some ways more emotional than anything I mean, maybe not, but in some ways as emotional or more than what you've seen in any live action movie.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's a really, really fucked up, and that's right after where like that scene where he's saying how could you let him live after he did what he did to me? It's like so fucked up, and Joker's like, get a picture of me and the kid in the crowbar.
Yeah,
it's like it's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And then it closes with that kid who's so jovial.
Yeah, and just innocent and young and just
and that's more that scene, having watched it, is more important to me than a lot of things, even throughout the Nolan series. Which I like the Nolan movies. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't think anything hits as hard as in those movies as that scene did to me.
Yeah.
So it's just I think that for like to get real emotion out of an animated movie, it's a lot harder, at least for me, to get those feelings. But I feel like it can be done. In either it's not being done well enough in general, or maybe it's just harder for people to get
to accept
to connect with the characters that much, because they're not real. You're not looking at a person. Certain actors, they can just, there's something about when they break that you can't do with animation. So I think maybe it's easier with live action, but I do think it can be done properly in animation. It's just either the effort isn't being put in as much in that respect. There's plenty of effort being put in, don't get me wrong. Either it's not that type of effort isn't being put in, because animation, you're generally going for different things other than big emotional sweeping moments. or it's just, I think maybe it's easier to correlate it with like sort of inherent biases. I don't know.
Probably the 3 movies, at least in like the last 10 years, that made me choke up were actually all animated. Up, first 10 minutes of Up.
Yep, I'll do it.
Come on. The end of Toy Story 3, you just like the whole like.
Yep, emotional roller coaster.
And then the one that people will judge me the worst on, the Simpsons movie, when they separated Marge and Homer, and that's mostly because I've been watching that since it came out in 1989. So it just like decades of.
No, I can see that. I can see that.
Like, I still watch The Simpsons. I'm like that guy who just, that's what we did. And my mom would get TV dinners and we would microwave them and watch The Simpsons every night. Like, it was just like, it's just that show for me in my life. And then it's just like, I'm watching it and it's just like, what? Like, they're not together. Like, I mean, I knew like, obviously they're going to get back together, but I was just like, whoa, okay. You know, at midnight, so I went to the midnight showing the day it came out. But yeah, I do have to get going. I figured I would end on something really lame,
really depressing. Yeah.
But, I'm just really hungry. And,
no, dude, no worries. If technology didn't take so long, we would have had more time. But this is probably good.
Yeah, should I just say goodbye? You guys don't have to end it, obviously. I have no qualms about you guys continuing, but is this a group goodbye or am I just signing out?
I think it's a group. It's a good group goodbye.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because we all should probably. It's Sunday evening. This beer is terrible. This beer has gotten terrible. It now tastes like metal. and before you go, I googled while we were doing it. I googled triple barrel Baptist and the word sour on Google. Obviously, because I said I googled it, and then just like a bunch of Untapped hits and Beer Advocate hits, like just like pretty much sour.
It sucks, man.
I'm wondering if I should Google like the quadruple barrel Baptist and the word sour and see what happens, but maybe I should just.
As well.
Cool.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, another jog down to the pub. It was fantastic.
Now, what's your guys' budget? Like, can you afford the rights to Closing Time or to Play Out right now, or no?
We're already in the red as it is, so probably screw it. We'll just open up another credit line.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Well, all right. See you, Kyle.
Bye, guys.
See you, brother.
Bye.